They are making a difference on 938 Live.
He's passionate about preserving cultural and linguistic diversity. Co-founder of the Singapore Proverbs Project, a collection of English translations of the proverbs of the languages here in Singapore, Dr Madanmohan Rao tells me more about his other publication, Many Ships, One Boat, a book that asks, what does Singapore look like to the world?
One thing which came out of the book is Singaporeans love to follow process, but they're not very innovative. They can't think out of the box very well yet. I mean, that's changing a little bit, but people are often taught this is how to do things. So you just can't change things, etc. So some of that stuff came out in the observations of experts.
Tell us more about these observations about food, for example.
Oh, food, fantastic. But the funny thing is, people who come from India think Chinese food smells a little bit. People who come from China think Indian food smells a little bit. Whereas people in Singapore who've been born and raised in Singapore are used to these differences. I don't see it as a different smell at all. So a lot depends on, that's what I think that's Singapore's great strength. There's been so much mixing already over the last few decades that the difference is normal.
Exactly. I call it being colorblind. You don't even see the difference.
It's like a fish. Only when you're out of the water, you go, oh, that's fish, that's water. So that's a big strength of Singapore. You've internalized many things that other Asians think are very different.
And how long did that take you to write?
That took about 2 years to put together. There are 20 experts who've contributed one chapter each.
So would you say this is a great primer for anybody, landing in Singapore and not sure how to make their way around and start a business?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Is that the market?
Yes, that's the market, yeah. Markets are, some Singaporeans who've been exposed to expats are very interested in seeing, hey, what do all the expats think about Singapore? But the biggest market, yes, is expats who've just come to Singapore, or even those who are planning to come to Singapore. So some HR directors have got in touch with me and said, can you give me 20 copies of the book? We've got 20 people coming in next year from the UK, France, whatever. So you want to give them a book to learn about Singapore.
Can I have the title of that book again?
Many Ships, One Boat, Singapore Expat Tales and Tips. So I called it Many Ships, One Boat because we've all come here from many ships, but we're now all in the same boat, the boat of Singapore.
But no Singaporeans were interviewed for this?
No, these are only expats talking about Singapore. But the next possible book I would like to do, if I get the time, is 20 Singaporeans who now live abroad. What do they think about Singapore looking at it from the outside? How have they enriched their understanding, appreciation of Singapore, etc.?
Exactly, because if, as you mentioned, your view or perception of a country is shaped by who you are, then how does being the fish that's come out of water then change your perception of home?
And I meet very different people. I met one of my best Singaporean friends, now writes for DJ magazine in the UK, and she says she can never come back to Singapore because the music scene is so vibrant in the UK, blah, blah, blah. I had another friend who went to Boston for 2 years, and she kept fleeing back. She said, I can't stand America. Singapore is much better. Weather is better, people are better, food is nice, it's convenient, it's safe. America is the Wild West. I don't want to go there. So completely different reaction from Singaporeans. So I see a big change there.
Dr. Rao, your work is in social media and consulting in social media, but I see you're also, a real content person.
Yes. I love writing, and I believe if you have a passion, you can do it, you can express it in any media available. Through social media, through print, through ebooks, all that stuff. So if you have passion, this is the best age to be alive. Social media is there for you to express your passion, connect with other passionate people, etc.
Sharing his passion for encouraging cultural understanding. Dr. Madanmohan Rao telling me more about Many Ships, One Boat, Singapore Expat Tales and Tips. This has been They Are Making a Difference. I'm Michelle Martin.